the difference? What you see? Possibly the God in me. It's got to be God in me. They tired of me. So it leaves no excuses, apologies, but I'm probably proud of me. They hate me cause I'm a G. Little I when I OD like damn. But I'm going, his is a Sam. Born cause it's Sam. And I ain't shacking, no acting up, no acting tough. None is to be the same reason these niggas calling these passages just to back them up. Thought they was bad as cuffs until they show they bad as cuff. And all these niggas acting up. I bet you mad as duck your head one time. Get your prayers online. Every time I mention Christ, they be giving me all the signs. One sign, one sign, one. All I need is one sign, one sign, one sign, one sign, one. Gotta get it. One sign, one sign, one. All I need is one sign, one sign, one sign, one sign, one. Gotta get it.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Don Clemenati, back with another video. So, first of all, I want to present this shirt the correct way. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. So, these are bleach stains. This is what I do when I'm power washing and stuff like that. I use it's called sodium hypochlorite. That stuff works really good when it comes to getting off algae and stuff like that or whatever. So if you think I'm just sitting here, I'm bumming it out, not really. If you see me in my bum gear, it's because it's actually the opposite of way around or whatever. That means I'm working, you know what I'm saying, for the most part. Sometimes I like to wear my work clothes because I had to wear it so much in life. Sometimes you just get used to it. And it's like, you know what? I just got off of work. I ain't got time to get fresh today. I'm just going to rock it off. I got to go back to the store. I'm going back to the store like this. You know what I'm saying? Until the day's over or whatever. So, you know what I mean? I feel most comfortable nowadays when I am actually in my work material. But anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about today. What I wanted to come with was, it was about Trump. And I started to think about a lot of things. And I've been saying this a lot. And I'm like, look, I'm not siding with nothing out here. I'm not going to be biased about anything or anyone, right? But all I can say is everything that we see is being orchestrated by the Most High, okay? Now, a lot of people will say this. They'll say everything happens for a reason. Yeah, until Trump gets in office. And then they feel like some of these reasons need to be changed. Well, what is it? Can you control what is actually happening in your environment? If you can't, and the powers that be did not put you there, then you ain't really orchestrating too much. You understand what I'm saying? So you can have a lot to say, but it's still gonna go however it's supposed to go. But if you really think about everything, right? If we are having troubles in particular communities, right? And say such as the righteous people, they wanna stand up and they wanna stand out. But I've been realizing they've been doing it outside the community versus inside of the community for the most part. Some people may do that, but a lot of people, they're not getting a large following because these people be getting threats. They get threats from gang members. Then you start to feel like, oh, you know, it may be some crooked activity going on in the police department, but it could also be some crooked activity going on in the gang department. Sometimes these things can coexist with each other. You know what I'm saying? But so that we're not sitting up here and we're not saying that all police are good, and we're not saying all police are bad. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm saying sometimes you just are caught in a situation where you're going to have to work with the environment, not compromising to every level, but until the levels are completed. You understand what I'm saying? This is why Jesus said, endure to the end, right? These are two things that we got to endure. But for your survival, for your protection, for your safety, right? For your comfort, for your peace, and all these other things, you're going to have to move a certain way, right? In coordination of who's already still put in place at the moment. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, right? As a whole, before anything goes down, before anybody gets hurt, we still as a people, it's still called America. We're still a country. We're still a community of people. Even though things could be dissolving and it could just fall apart at any given time. Even if the world around you does. That's one of the things you don't have to compromise with. This is why we're not falling apart at these moments. We're actually coming together. See what I'm saying? Because the Most High is also orchestrating that too in the midst. You feel me? It's going to be so many things done in the midst. It's not even going to be funny. And you're going to see why the fact of where you being obedient is going to be your protection. You feel what I'm saying? Because obedience is going to cause you to make the moves that need to be made. And then you'll see how God is going to orchestrate and work everything out there. But he needs you to start some initiations, right? So the first thing is not going to be to do is to get in his way. So the things that he orchestrates, it's just you let the Lord do his work. You let the Lord business be his business. Just understand that you already know that there's a hedge of protection on you when it comes to these things. Y'all say this as well. Y'all say the world is a stage. Yeah, okay, well, until it's time to endure to the end. Now you're feeling like, you know what I'm saying? So you kind of got to remember everything that you've been saying, because that is also going to help you too. Remember what he brought you out of. Remember what he showed you. Remember what you felt and believed in those moments. You got to, when you start reminding yourself of those things and they start coming up again, what I want you to do, I want you to write that stuff down in a journal, okay? And I want you to just do it, right? So every time you think of these things, so get a journal. And when these really special thoughts come, only the special thoughts that connects the dots of the thought process that you've been on for a while, you write those things down. When you saw that pattern, do the same thing and it turned out for good in your favor, it say, okay, that's because I did this and I was obedient to that. You write those things down. These things will help correlate your life. And if you go down the schedule and you write those things out, they not only just become the vision, they become your life. And then you start living those things. But you got to remind yourself. That's why you're writing it down. Because sometimes we forget. Okay? We do, right? I'm a forgetful person, so not all the time. But I got a lot that be going on. You know what I'm saying? So I be forgetting a lot. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I be forgetting. But at the same time, that's why I just try to stay obedient, stay trying to move through the spirit, stuff like that. Because you'll get to a point where you'll realize you can't do it on your own. The Most High is he's gonna have to like pull you through the rest of the way through, but you're gonna have to make some type of initiation. You're gonna have to make the initiation. If you don't make it, then these things that you're hoping for is never gonna work out in your favor. Because the only way it's gonna do it is if you move by the spirit. And I'm telling you, and a lot of times it's gonna seem crazy, but so let's talk about some of the things that's being done in the background when it comes to our government, Trump, you know, what he could possibly be into, right? Well, say this, he got the gold Bitcoin statue, right? I was also thinking that too. And I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe he knows something that we don't know. Okay. So we run the world by a currency system right now, the US dollar. What if it was going down and before they didn't want to put us in a panic, they know in the background and they know what trying to work out for our best favor? Because if you think he's trying to crash this on purpose, you have no idea. This guy could literally be trying to do everything in his power to listen, to upstand the American ways in society, right? Not the part where some people looking at the things that he's doing could be looked upon as something else, when if you really looking at it, right? If you look at it two ways, you can look at it both ways because it kind of plays out both ways. It's so weird that what he's actually doing could put fire in a lot of people's pants, and they could really say, yeah, but that's what he's doing. In one way, when you look at it, it is. But in another way, that's why I was trying to explain the heroes of those communities that he's sending the military in, right? Where was you at for all the people who complain about the military's going in there? I'm not saying I'm with it. I'm not saying I'm not. But I'm just saying, where were you at when it was time for people to go clean up those communities? What did you want to do about it? You sat there in the communities and complained like everybody else did. But what did y'all do? Did you do anything? Okay. What do you think needed to be done? You complained about the police and the activity that they were doing to your people. You already got off a bad foot. We understand that. There's tension between, you know what I mean? But with the history between blacks, black men, black people, and the police, right? We have that tension, right? So what if the person, I'm just saying the what ifs, was trying to cut a bridge there and say, you know what? We need a mediator. Who's going to do it? You? Right? Who's going to do it? Okay. That's why I said he could possibly be trying to use everything in his power to get it done. If you look at it that way. But if you don't, you're just going to see what I know you see, what I know you feel, because that's the way it is playing out. But it's playing out in both ways. But you're just not seeing it that way. So I want to show you that's the way it's playing out. So, which also means they ain't here for y'all, dog. They have a job. That's why I try to tell you, look, man. I'm trying to tell you something without telling you something, because this is confidential. You feel me? Certain things I just can't speak on like that. You feel me? Why? Because if I do, then I'm in trouble, right? Type stuff, right? So I gotta say it in a way to where you just know that they understand. They understand, and nobody's trying to put you in harm's way. Okay, you feel me? This is gonna be. You're gonna have to trust God with everything you see. Remember, he says that he will be the judge in the courtroom. So if he'll be the judge, then he'll also be the police. He'll also be the government. I believe that's what he told me. I don't know what he said in the Bible. I don't know if it's somewhere in there, but I know that's what he told me. He told me that he not particularly them, but when he dealing with you, it's different. It's him. You're gonna see the judge. They're gonna see whoever they're supposed to see. They run into a police officer out here, and they on some rah-rah, and they all ghettofied and sinful up and all that, right? Right? Well, the special forces, they're going to take care of the matters. You understand what I'm saying? So we don't need to be looking at it this and that. You need to understand. Like I said, you say everything happened for a reason till you see the prophecy played out. But then when the prophecy playing out, you get mad. But the Most High told you that's him, dog. That's him doing this. So you getting mad. You having these biased conversations about this and that, and people drawing you into them as well, right? This is how I got to pull this veil off for y'all to show you even that is witchcraft. You understand? Because it's even playing a side or taking a side at these moments. I already told y'all, don't do this. I said, don't do that, right? Back when, before, what was it, Kamala and Trump, the election. I said, yo, I saw them I saw when they started. I said, oh, snap. I got to tell the people. But like I said, a lot of things that I be telling y'all, I feel like sometimes I'm just not consistent enough on that particular thing. And I might say it once and then, boy, I might not say it again for like 8 months. Because I be saying so much other stuff. You feel me? But I was trying to make sure that I told you, don't pay attention to that, bro. Right? If you listening to it at all, even as trickle down into social media, it's bad. If it has anything to do with these topics that the world is on, leave it alone. I'm telling you, leave it alone. I don't care if you think it sounds good and you feel like it's something that's resonating with your spirit. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Don't entertain it at all. At all. At all. Understand me? Because it's getting ready to get bad. And the projection is in the activity that they're doing on them stages. Trump. Yeah. But look, what the enemy used for bad, Most High is using for good, right? That's all I wanted to show you, right? So just know that. So know everything that is being done is set on a stage for things to happen. That fake rapture did two things too. It turned fake people from Christ and brought people out of the wilderness that would have never known. Got them holding on by the skin of their teeth still to this very moment. Praying, crying out for the Lord. Where are you at? They never cried out like that before. And because you thought he was coming, now you don't want to miss him, right? So all these things happen for a reason. So that's what I'm saying. Whatever's going on in the world out there, right? You just let that be the trending subject for the day. We got a different matter that we got to face, right? We still got them scriptures we need to get together in that Bible, right? Right? But sometimes I got to bring messages like this because you never know who might roll in or when the Lord's going to use your chapter for the next person's chapter, right? He can use your first chapter for somebody's last chapter or your last chapter for somebody's first chapter. But some way he's going to coordinate these things and orchestrate them for the best for us, for us. And all we got to do is stay obedient to the Most High and what he says. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's going to get hard, man. and he gonna put you through some things. You heard me? You heard me? But you gotta see that all those things are orchestration too. And it's a test. It's a test of your faith. It's a test to see if you can keep moving. It's a test to see if you're gonna allow the enemy to stop you. It's a test for a lot of things, man. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, because you want to talk about spiritual warfare? You are in your spiritual warfare battle right now. Right? I'm telling you, it's at a high extent too. If you want to talk about spiritual battle, even though I told you before, it's not in the Bible, but I just had to say that because of what a part of the vision that I see, right? It didn't tell me it was a spiritual battle. That ain't what I saw, and neither could I find it in the Bible. But I understand about it. But that's why I said it's within yourself. I told you that. You got to have yourself covered. You got to stay prayed up. That's the battle. The battle is you lacking from the will of God, which is to stay in communion with him. Like, stay the whole time, right? Do you know how to do that? Do you know how to entertain the Most High at all times? You got to literally eat, sleep, shit, the Most High. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sorry. You literally got to eat, sleep, and dump the Most High. Not crack. Whatever, man. You know what we say. You do. You got to breathe it. You got to believe it. You got to taste it. You got to want it. You got to know it. You got to have it. It's got to be. It can't be anything else. I don't want anything else. I need that. It's got to be a need. It's got to be the wants. It's got to be everything. It's got to be relevant. You know what I'm saying? You have to be subjected to that. And you got to make this flesh subject to your spirit. You got to get it under subjection to your spirit. And you got to rebuke this every day, dog. Daily, every day, yo, flesh. Before I go rebuke everybody else, anybody, yo, flesh, I got something I want to talk to you about. Now, you going to get in order today in the name of Jesus. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You are going to be conducted, and you're going to be under the objection of the Holy Spirit. Because I done had it up to here with you too. So you're going to be the first person I'm talking to. Right? So I cast out any demon, any demonic spirit, anything that's trying to take hold of my life, whether it's the inside or outside of me. Right? Right? Because look, they'll utilize you to get to you. You know why? Because they'll utilize you. They know the only way they could get to you is if you put yourself in them certain circumstances and situations. And we're not guided by the Most High. You're just gonna wake up one day like, dang, how did I get here? What? You wanna know why? Because you weren't staying prayed up, and you weren't moving the way you were supposed to move. So it's about prayer right now. I told you not too long ago, prayer is. That's why I should have did a video on it. And since I didn't, I'm going to put this as the title. Prayer is the key. Right now. Okay? Prayer is the key for your survival through obedience of the Holy Spirit. Telling you to pray. Watch and pray. And then pray and watch. Watch. Keep watching the whole time. Before, after, but also keep praying. See what I'm saying? There's your spiritual bubble. That spiritual bubble of protection. I say, it will, but that's how. No other way is gonna do that now. You feel me? And I'm telling you, if you have to give up your life for your beliefs, whether you make it through these processes with an enormous amount of faith or not, don't give up. You're going to get weak. And just remember, never give in to the enemy, man. Because he can't have you. He can't have you. He can't have the blessings that God got for you. You can't have them things, dog. Those gifts that God gave for you, those are yours. We see the enemy constantly trying to tear us down so much out here, to the point they want to crash our whole world just so none of us survive, but them. No, what's going to happen is their whole world's just going to crash, and they're going to be the only ones going down. Don't y'all understand that? Because you kept holding on. You the one that kept the faith. You the one that was deciding to be obedient. Right? You stayed in it. You kept the obedience. You kept the faith. You kept the ambition and the drive. You stayed on task and you progressed to get where it was that you felt like God called you to be, right? Right. And you gotta give yourself a pat on the back for that, man. You wanna know why? First of all, ain't nobody else gonna do it for you. You gotta encourage yourself out here. Like, at the end of the day, we can sell air, we can sell encouragement, right? But no encouragement is good enough when you love yourself. When you love God, you'll love yourself. When you have the Most High in you, that's the reason why you love yourself. You think that's you that's loving you. No, that's the spirit of Him inside of you that's loving you for you. Because you wouldn't have been able to even do that. Not in this world. You would have hated yourself by now. You understand me? You would have hated yourself. Without the spirit of God, you would have threw yourself off the edge, bro. I already know I would have. Not just like the big S bomb comes in many ways. Some people act out in the world, they lash out, or they just do something stupid. You feel me? But all those things lead down to stupidity anyway. You'll lose your life because of stupidity. And I'm gonna keep talking about stupidity because stupidity is going to play a very key factor in why so many people are getting ready to be at their detriment. Stupidity. Think about Ringo TV right now, and this ain't even to take shots. This is because we have an example. All over a check, you willing to lose your soul, right? Knowing the word, you're making the choice. We could say it's satanic, we could say it's demonic, but at the end of the day, it's a real life human choice, bro. And you got to be dumb as hell to think just having a little crummy little years left when even you know the prophecy's heading. It's either you stupid or you're programmed or orchestrated by Satan himself. See, directly from Satan. Orchestrated specifically on a specific task. And one of his biggest tasks, what he was trying to do, was make a man tear down his trust for his people. And I ain't like that, dog. You knew what your task was. These are great tasks these people are sent for. You think about a person that got a church over 200,000 something people, dog. And you come up there and you make the pastor, you trying to make a pastor or whoever the fellowship leader is, right? You're trying to make them not trust their people, dog. That's what that was about. Meanwhile, you got paid for it. Or say you didn't have to pay for it. Somebody else paid for it. You gonna pay for that. So what, listen, charity covers a multitude of sins. So even if he said he was gonna do it out of that, you know what it was worth. If he even told you as a brother, just give me what it's worth, and you said, boom, this is what I decided to give you. You know what I'm saying? You still fooling people over, whatever. I mean, these are the kind of things that a lot of people that did all this shit to us, dog. All of us. All right, you understand me? All of us have went through this. Do you understand me? Those people, they are still orchestrated, right? To doing those things, as we can see, right? They're still playing their part, right? And they thinking and they setting you up for the kill. They think they got you every time, bro. And it's like, all right, you coming at it one way. Then when they see that you're protected, now they trying to come at it another way. It's like, dog, all doors are being slammed closed for you to be able to get through to the Most High children at this point. So at that point, you got to be stupid to think anything else, bro. Is you kidding me? We're pretty much almost at the point where we are already sealed by the word of God. I'm not telling you the 144,000 sealed, but I'm telling you, the word of God will seal you too. Do you understand me? There's different seals, right? Let's say it's levels to this. You still need to be sealed by the word of God, right? Because that's what's going to help you. That's what's going to move you. And that's what's going to cause you to enter into the gates, right? Okay, so you're going to be sealed, all right? And That's all you need to worry about, right? You trying to worry about where somebody going or somebody this and or somebody that. You're worrying about the wrong things, right? This ain't about being left behind. And I need people to stop saying that. I need people to stop saying that. Anybody's going to be left behind. How is people left behind if y'all saying even Jesus is going to be down here on the earth? Why somebody else where Jesus was supposed to switch up? See what I'm saying? Come on, bro. Y'all don't even make sense. Look, I was thinking about something else too. It's this, look. So much crazy sense, man. I'll be pointing out so many things in the Bible. I'm going to say one more, right? Just one off the top of my head. But there's something else deeper I want to say. But let's start with this one. These are just clues. Just read the clues. He said he's going to come like a thief in the night. But basically in the middle of the day. Or in the daytime, right? Oh, nobody knows if it's going to be the day or the hour. No, he said the day or the hour, right? But he said that the sun will be darkened, right? All right. Are we going to be able to see the sun being darkened? And if we is, how are we going to know the difference? Which would indicate that the sun is out, right? All right, bet. So we can start there, right? But see, that's why I said, look, man, you're going to have to hold in on these clues because these Bibles be having like, the clues be all there in their face. And I don't even know. Like, I ain't going to say this ain't got nothing to do with stupidity. It could be the veil, right? But if it's brung to your attention that way and you still believe anything else after that, to me, that's stupidity. All right. So with his prophets being out here in these days, he gonna give you the clear stuff. And if you ain't dumb, I don't know. See, I don't want to say it. I feel like if you say that word so many times on here, they might mess up the algorithm or something. But I did want to talk about stupidity, okay? Because stupidity is a word, and it actually, if we talk about it, we could talk about helping people be smart, right? Giving them the difference of what would be dumb or called stupid and what would be smart and called wise, right? And that's why I said all wise people are going to make it to God. If you are wise, like really, really wise, you'll end up in the kingdom with the Most High. You feel me? At the end of the day, because it's just going to prove you ain't stupid. Like I said, it should be so easy. Look, I know they telling about it's going to be this, that, and the third, but look at all that. Look at all that. You're going to understand that that's the prophecy going on. If you don't get involved, you won't be involved. Who told you to get involved, right? You can interject yourself into them situations. And you don't know what it's going to cost. You don't. Just by having a vibe of certain things on you, because then it'll start to give you to having your own beliefs. Now you touching on certain things and you putting certain things out there that's sparking certain vibrations in other people. And now you are just, you can either be a part of it or not be a part of it, right? You can either create the hate for yourself or not create the hate for yourself, right? I'm just giving examples of, let's take an example of what happened to Charlie Kirk too, right? We understand that we're in a world where everybody's not going to favor what you're saying, but you never know. I think he said it. He had a amount of death threats, right? So he knew that it could be possible that somebody would want to take him out, right? Now we ain't gonna say he was stupid, because at that point, you actually gotta call that pretty bold when you think to get so many death threats already and still be showing your face with all those people that hate you. Like, you can look at it like, oh, he didn't care. He just thought that he was untouchable and it wouldn't happen. And no, I think he saw these crazy people clearly up in his face. And I think he knows what world he lives in too. He just had a drive and ambition for what he did. And he believed what he stood on. And does he get credible for being bold on what he stood on? Right? You don't know a bully to bully till he walk up and smack you. But you're not going to steal his credibility off the bat. Right? Something like that, right? Yo, what does that even mean, right? I don't know, but I think it makes sense. Just try to make it make sense, right? Something like that, right? So it's like you think somebody not playing with you, or you could get away with anything until it actually happens. And then you'll find out that there was a bully out there, right? So you could be that person if you want, but I don't think he was. I think he might have had several close calls, and I think he might have even been on to something too. Like, he could have known. He could, because you know, when people are plotting against you, us as humans generally, we have an awareness about ourselves. He don't know where it was coming from. So listen, you don't know. He could even be in better peace now, not knowing where it came from, because he could have had everybody in his life trying to take him out. For all we know. That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying nobody know who did it. So who would have wanted to do it? We could still leave it up and say it could have been the world. But what would they do anyway if they were trying to get close to you? They're going to try to infiltrate, which would mean to get in possibility. Because where's the tension so strong that it wasn't so distant of a connection? You really don't have a real motive to take him out, right? So these type of things usually, I'm saying, my speculations happen from the inside out. All right, gonna get off that subject. But I use that as an example to show when you touch on certain things that you know is already in a vibration of things, you're creating that for yourself. No matter how much you entertain it, believe it's on your side or believing against it, right? If that's not what we call here to do. We're supposed to be focused on the Most High. I promise you, because you don't know where this stuff is going to lead to. Right now, it's time for us to get into the Spirit of God. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. That's the Spirit. The Spirit is the Word. We need to get in it. We need to move in it. See what I'm saying? But yes, if we're going to utilize these things, we're going to try our best to present it for our community through knowledge, edification, education, stuff like that. But as far as like that whole taking side stuff, and I just think that's going to be very dangerous to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? Like, only I'm saying that for me because I know what I see, and I see these patterns quick. I might be in a certain thing, in a certain mix with the same for like 2 or 3 days, and I start seeing the outcomes, and I'm like, yo, I go somewhere else and I shake it off me real quick. I ignore it, come out with my own vibe. Everything different. Everything different. Everybody different. It's something about that stuff that you're watching and entertaining. It makes people different around you, bro. I promise you. You go ahead and entertain the Spirit of the Lord, right? Do this as I want you, if you want, right? Try this experiment. Pray up in the morning. Subject that flesh, right? Crucify your flesh. Give God thanks. Give him his honor. Give him his prayers. Don't entertain anything else for your day. You go straight to outside, whatever you get, a coffee, your drink for the morning, whatever it is, right? I would say even if it's, I ain't gonna say some of the healthy energy drink, right? All right, juices, whatever. And then believe that the Most High just made you rich. Really, really rich. All right. Do you even know how to act like you just won $1 million? I do. Yeah, I don't want to do it right here because they're gonna be like, yo, this nigga fool. But I'll show y'all one day. I can really get excited on purpose. It's like, oh my God, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, just get real crazy and just be like, you would really believe that just won $1 million, dog. And I'll be so happy. We got the power. When you entertain that, even if you entertain that, if you really did it, it don't entertain you out there, especially when you're around other people, because there's so much other energy out there. You still got so much positive energy to suck up because everybody want to be utilizing the negative energy. The moment you even fake the funk, it's going to snatch you like a rapture. And you're going like, yo, what the heck just happened? I'm literally really happy now. And people are really smiling at me now. And they just think I won $1 million. And they're like, yo, what the heck just happened for him today? They ain't even thinking about their situation no more. They're just happy for you. They had a bad day and they cracked a smile because you're happy. Any other time, they would have been hating on you. If it was a normal happiness, but try that extreme one. That's an experiment if you can get there. I'm just letting you know. These things ain't gonna help put you there. They're not. I'm telling you what I did already. I tell you, sometimes I do these experiments because they work. Even the one about the dressing up occasion and how that did it. Most High be the one telling me these things, bro. All right? Tell me exactly what to do. And I did it. And I was like, bro, even the ground in the tree situation, right? He actually told me that, right? Through the trees. The trees are going to be used as big benefits, but we'll get to that later If it shall ever be spoken on, I don't know. But we'll go through the Bible. We're going to speak it on it like that. I'm going to snap my fingers when I say I'm reminding you of what I speak of. That's what I'm going to do every time I do those things. And if you could put 2 and 2 together when I do those things, you'll be able to come out with a good story, right? So that's how I'm going to have to do it. I'm telling you, because, bro, you know what's going on here, bro, right? So if I get better with that, then maybe I can get better with more people now, because only Lord knows y'all ain't gonna help me do it, right? So I don't know. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I look like we at about 35 minutes right now. I think that's good enough. I ain't gonna sit here and draw all day, but I will be back. So till next time, it's your boy Don Illuminati. Peace. I love.
Ain't no war outside. I don't believe it